Welcome to this morning's adult gentle yoga class. Let's find a comfortable seat on our mat and we'll get started. Actually, let's start lying down. We'll start lying down today. Feel the weight of your body sinking into the mat. Notice the places where the mat and the body touch. Surrender into those places and feel the floor holding you up. Become aware of any tension in the body and exhale it out through the back and into the floor and down into the earth. As the body softens and relaxes, notice the movement of your front body, the breath in your belly, rib cage, and chest. This is a really good position to be able to feel the belly moving. Feel the breath moving all the way up to your collarbones and all the way back out. And let's roll the knees to face the ceiling, bring one leg in and give that leg a hug. If you like, pick your head up towards your knee, keeping the shoulders and face relaxed. And down. And bring the other leg in and give that leg a hug. And down. And let's bring the first leg in. And we'll go into yoga bicycles with the head on the floor or lifted, whichever you prefer. Moving slowly with the breath. Finish up and bring both legs in, roll back down. One more hug, and then roll to one side and come to a seated position. Whatever works for you. Wriggle the buttocks, flesh away. Roll the shoulders. And sit up nice and tall, chin slightly tucked, back of the neck long. Take a few breaths here, noticing how you feel. Being present to all the sensations in the body. Let's bring the chin down and look up. Slowly lifting and lowering the chin and stretching the neck front and back. One more. Coming back to center, let's look around. Big stretch. And look around the other way. Nice, smooth, gentle motions. And back to center. And ear to shoulder. And ear to shoulder the other way. And let's do the new one that we learned last week. So picking up your right hand, slide the back of your hand around, and bring your ear to your shoulder. And then towards both of your hands. Inhale back up, change sides, bring the back of your hand around, ear to shoulder, then over to the side where both of your hands are. Breathing into that stretch. Inhale back up, first side, sliding that around. Give yourself a nice little stretch on one side, then over to the side where both your hands are. And this time, if you want a little more, the way that your head is facing towards your hands, that free hand comes up and over, touches your ear, gives yourself a little extra stretch. And inhale back up. Let's do another one right on this side. Let's bring the ear to the shoulder. Turn the chin down towards your armpit. And if you want a little more, that free hand comes up and over, takes the back of your head, and gently helps it move more towards your armpit. And inhale back up. Bring that arm out. Take a breath and savor that. And then we'll bring the other arm, back of the hand around your back. Ear to shoulder. All right, this way first. And then over towards your hands. A little more, take that free hand up and over. So your head is pointed towards your hands. And then that hand comes on top of your ear. Breathing into that stretch. Inhaling back up. Bringing your ear to your shoulder one more time towards your hands. And then turning your chin down, looking down at your armpit. Taking that free hand up and over to the back of your head. And gently guiding your head towards your shoulder. Breathing into that stretch. And inhale back up. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Let's squeeze the shoulder blades up and tilt the head back and open and close the jaw. And move the jaw from side to side. And come back. Relax the shoulders down and notice how wonderful they feel. And then we'll do some shoulder circles, one and then the other, a little variety. This doesn't work, just do one at a time. I mean, do both at the same time, or one. And then we'll circle the other way. And let's get our hands into it. Let's do some swimming. You can spread your fingers and then make fists. So obviously you wouldn't spread your fingers if you were really swimming. Like you're grabbing the air, and then we'll go the other way. A little backstroke. Oh, doesn't that feel good? And pause. So you're very tall from that. And bring your hands together in Yoga Mudra. If Yoga Mudra doesn't work for you, grab your opposite elbows. Squeezing the hands together, squeezing the shoulder blades together, stretching up nice and tall, lifting the chin slightly. And a little twist to one side. And a little twist back the other way. And back to center. And release. Let's bring our fingertips together. We'll do some finger strengthening, push-ups on the mirror. Shoulders are down. Face is relaxed. Posture is nice and tall. And then let's make little hooks with our hands, and we'll just bring our wrists, moving those wrists around each other. Gives the elbows a little bit of movement too. And let's unhook and hook the other way, and then move the wrists in the opposite direction. It's hard, which is funny. Shouldn't seem to be so hard, but it is. Doing it backwards. And while we're here, let's release those hands and draw some circles with the elbows. And circle back. And then just throwing a frisbee with both hands. And release. Let's bring the legs out. We'll do some windshield wiper of the legs. And come on back up and stretch your legs out nice and wide. And we'll do some cat and dog in this position. So you can have your hands behind you or on your legs, whatever works for you. Let's round and stretch up. Can't rock back as far on your sitting bones here, unless you have your hands on the floor behind you, then you can rock back further. With each exhale, rounding, feel the energy drawing in. With each inhale, as you stretch up, press out through the heels as well. And back to center, and bring your legs in with a little butterfly. And flip your legs over. Try to get the middle of your calf into your arch. An interesting twist here. If that doesn't work for you, you can have your knee on the floor. We'll bring our hand to the thigh and twist around. For a little more refinement in this pose, the palm of the hand turns and is under the leg with the back of your hand pressing against your leg. The back of your arm with the palm on the floor. A little hard to explain. Inhale back up. Take a moment to compare the two sides. And then flip that leg over. So the middle of your calf on your arch, if that works for you. If not, the knee on the floor. And then this hand comes across to your thigh. The other hand on the floor by your tailbone, or turning the palm that way, sliding the back of your hand under your leg, pressing against your leg with your hand that way. And slowly unwind, come back out. And let's come back to that wide-legged position, hands to the floor behind you if you like, to help you. We'll curl the toes and point, and flex, curl the toes and point, and flex, curl, point, and flex. And then we'll circle the ankles. Still sitting up very tall, supporting with your core. And circling back the other way. And then just windshield wiper in and out right here. Drawing the belly in and stretching up tall. And one more time, bring the soles of the feet together and notice how you feel here in covered pose. Let's come over onto our hands and knees for table. We're going to press into the back of one hand, give that a little stretch. And then press into the back of the other and give that a little stretch. That's an intense feeling, but that's our conversation earlier about using our bodies in ways we don't usually use them. Okay, and then let's give our feet a little waking up here. It's really good for neuropathy, getting the blood back from your feet up into your body. And come to stillness, feel the tingling in your legs. And let's make some nice cat circles. Making them as big or as little as feels right to you, going as slow as you like to really explore your range of motion. And let's stop and go back the other way. Getting all those joints moving. And finish up a set, come back into table, and we'll do some cat and dog. Again, take as much time as you need to explore the stretch, breathing into it. You can move with one breath between cat and dog, or you can take several breaths and hold. That's holding the asana and not the pranayama. Keep breathing. One more set, or however many it takes to finish up. And come to a flat back. We're going to bring one knee forward and just sit on that heel for a minute, reaching out through the back toes. So modified pigeon, walk your hands back, lift your chest, shoulders down, lower belly lifted. Bring your hands back to the floor. Stretch back to table and bring the other knee forward, sitting on your heel. Walking your hands back, tenting your fingers, pressing into the pads of your fingers as you lift your heart to the sky. Make sure you're not crunching your neck. Breathe and open the chest. Reach out through your back foot, energizing from the top of your head to the tip of your toes. Bring the tongue to the roof of your mouth. Feel the bliss in this pose. And come back into child. Lovely counter stretch here. Feel your tailbone reaching towards your heels. And press into your palms and lift your elbows. And feel how that translates into a stretch in your lower back. Inhale back up. We'll do some toe hamstring stretch. Bring the right foot through. And walk that foot forward if you like to keep the knee over the heel though. Dropping your hips. Back toes press into the mat. Reach back with your hips. Lower your head towards your knee. Front toes are reaching up towards your head. Intense stretch back here, maybe in the front of your other thigh. Breathe into wherever you feel it. Allow the head and shoulders to relax. Inhale forward, hips come down, come onto your fingertips, lifting the chest. Deep breaths here. And one more time, the hips come back, reaching towards your other heel, surrendering over your leg. Draw the lower belly in. Feel the back broaden and lengthen. One more time, we'll come forward into our lunge. And press back into child. And notice how the two sides of your body feel. The side we worked on might feel bigger, puffier, lighter. Let's inhale up and bring the other leg through. Coming up onto our fingertips, looking up, feeling a stretch in the front of your thigh. Turn the back toes over, draw the belly in to pull the hips back. Surrender your head to your knee. Inhale forward into your low lunge. And one more time, come back into toe hamstring stretch. Inhale forward. Perhaps you can drop your hips just another 1/8 of an inch. And come back into child. You can stay in child or come into a squat. You take a few breaths here. And let's bring the hands to the floor. Toe heel, the feet to parallel. Come into a forward fold. Bring your hands to your sacrum, lengthen your spine. Press into your heels and come to standing. Find Tadasana, mountain pose. Now we've been practicing for years with our feet parallel and hip width apart in a pose called Samastihi. But if you want to go for a little more challenge, you can bring your feet together, zipping up the legs. Now that's harder because your base is narrower, but you've been practicing for a long time. So if you'd like to try that, I'm going to offer that to you today. Reaching down to the floor. We want to support this pose by tucking the tailbone, drawing the belly in and tucking the rib cage. Remember, girdling our core. We're not poking out our ribs, but bringing the ribs and the belly towards each other. Shoulders down, spine tall. Inhale the arms up overhead, interlace the fingers and turn the palms to the ceiling. Squeezing those legs together and reaching down into the earth as you reach up to the sky. And then taking a tip over. Inhale back to center. Reach over the other way. Inhale back up. Float the arms down and come to a spinal twist, keeping the hips reaching forward and spinning from your belly. Inhale back up and then twist the other way. Inhale tall. And come back to Tadasana. We're going to come to a half salute. Come to the top of your mat. Again, you can bring your feet together, touching, or you can stay in Samastihi, whichever you prefer. Inhale and reach to the sky. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way back up. Look up at your hands. Anjali Mudra. We're going to add a lunge on our right foot. Swan dive. Look up, right foot steps back into a lunge. Now you can stay in high lunge or put your knee on the floor for low lunge, whichever you prefer. We're going to do a variation of toe hamstring stretch. So if your knee is on the floor, you know what to do. We already did it. If your knee is off the floor, we're going to reach back, pressing the back heel towards the floor and the nose towards the knee. Again, soften your shoulders, relax your neck. Draw your belly in. Breathe. Inhale forward into lunge. Exhale back, nose to knee, whichever version you're doing. Inhale, lunge. Bring your hands to the floor to help you step forward. Surrender over your legs. And if you want your feet touching, and inhale up. And Anjali Mudra. Other side. And fold. Half lift. Left leg steps back into a lunge. Stay here or put your knee on the floor. Take a deep breath, draw your belly in to help bring your hips back, reaching your back heel towards the floor, your nose towards your knee. Inhale forward into your lunge. And reach back. One more lunge. Plant your hands however you need to come into Uttanasana. Surrender over. And inhale up. Legs touching if you want to do that variation. I have to remind myself. Okay, this time we're going to take that lunge into a warrior two and a triangle pose. Half lift, right leg steps back into a lunge. Swivel that foot onto the floor. Reach forward and swivel yourself all the way up into Virabhadrasana 2. Body's over the hips, nice and square. Arches are lifted. Lift your kneecap, toes and spread them wide as well. Look over your middle finger. Feel the shoulder blades sliding down your back. Press into the front foot, straighten the leg, and tip over into Trikonasana. And we take this into a nose to knee here, spinning your body. You need to readjust your back foot. You can square your hips towards your front leg. If you need to bend your front leg, please go ahead and do it. Then we take this into a revolved triangle. Come up so that you're parallel to the floor. Bring your inside hand to the outside of your leg, wherever that lands. Bring your outside hand, I'm so backwards, it's hard for me to tell you which hand it is. Do that's your right hand to your right hip crease. Spin your body away from the TV screen. And if you feel secure, you can even reach that hand up towards the sky. Bring that hand back down, back into our lunge. Lift the back heel, lunge position. Take a breath here. Good work, everybody. Step forward. Feet together if you like, surrender over. Inhale up. Anjali Mudra. Is your body shaking? Mine sure is. I'm going to come the other way to do the other side. We'll take a few more breaths here to recoup. Are you ready to go on? Here we go. Fold. Half lift, left leg steps back. Swivel that foot onto the floor. Keep the arch lifted. Reach forward, windmill yourself all the way up to Virabhadrasana 2 on this side. Feel the strength of your legs. You're going to need that when we get into the twist. Straighten your leg and tip over into Trikonasana. Stay as high as you need to keep your spine straight. Spin your body towards the sky. And we take this into a nose to knee, bringing the hands down. If you need to bend your knee and put your hands on the floor, you can go ahead and do that. You need to adjust your back foot, go ahead and do that. Inhaling, coming to a flat back. Take your inside hand to the outside of your shin. Slide your left hand up your right leg to your hip crease. Spin your body. Whew. This balance is a challenge here. Take your time. If this doesn't work for you, bend your front knee. Have your hand on the floor. If you feel safe, raise that arm up. Woo. And down. You're shaking like a leaf. I certainly am. And surrender over your legs. Inhale. Anjali Mudra. And melt down onto your mat and child. Bring your hands towards your knees and press yourself up into Thunderbolt for a moment with your knees parallel. Bring your hands behind you in Yoga Mudra. If that doesn't work for you, you're crossing your elbows. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift your heart. And then tuck your chin, bringing your forehead to the floor or rolling up onto the top of your head. making sure there's no weight on your neck. Pull your arms as far away from your back as you can, and your shoulders as far away from your ears as you can. Deep breaths here. And come back into egg pose. Darbhasana sounds nicer. And we'll end with pigeon. So inhale into table. Slide your right knee forward and either sit on the heel or step your foot out to the outside of your foot, bring your hands to the outside of your mat, walk your foot across, bringing your leg into a right angle here, as close as you can. Then bringing your hands back in, coming into a proud pigeon. And then sliding back and coming forward into a reclining pigeon. You can have your forearms on the floor and come onto your folded arms or all the way down. We'll take at least a minute here. If you need to move around, come out of the pose and come back in, whatever works for you. The goal here is to surrender as much as possible in a challenging asana. Gives you both challenge and release. Inhale back up. And stretch back into Darbhasana or child. Balasana, child, Darbhasana, egg. Let's come back into table. You're either going to slide your left knee forward and sit on your heel, or step your left foot to the outside of your hand. Move your hands to the outside of your mat. Toe heel, your foot across, so it's at much of a right angle as you can get it. May not be perfect. And then sliding your hips down, walking yourself into a proud pigeon. And then inhaling down, either onto your elbows or your forearms, or all the way down onto the floor. Taking a moment to settle here. And we'll stay for about a minute. Slowly inhabiting your breath. Feel free to make micro movements as the body releases. And inhale back up. One more proud pigeon, one for the road. And back into Balasana or Garbhasana. And make your way into Shavasana. Allowing your body to take in the benefits of all the good work you did today. Stay here as long as you like. And when you're ready, begin to bring some movement back into your fingers and toes. Gently move and stretch in whatever way feels good to you. And then roll to one side. And come back to a seated position. Namaste.